Hi!
Hi!
Welcome to Opening the Vault,
Following Mickey's footsteps.
where we watch every Disney animated feature in chronological order.
Today we're going to be watching the 1947 package film, Fun and Fancy Free.
This is the fourth package film, Saludos Amigos, Three Caballeros, Make Mine Music, and now Fun and Fancy Free. And a lot of people haven't heard of this one.
Nope. I know I hadn't. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time, and that's really all we could say about it before going in.
All right.
Let's watch it.
Let's watch it.
Fun.
and fancy free.
Yes, Walt Disney gives free rein to his fancy, and all your favorites join in the songs and fun. Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy, Mortimer Snerd, Little Luana Patton of Song of the South, and Jiminy Cricket, that cute little bug from Pinocchio, eavesdropping in.
So that was that. Fun and Fancy Free. 2 segments.
2 segments strung together with some interesting interludes by Jiminy Cricket and friends.
It's nice to see Jiminy Cricket. He comes in. He's like the host of the show at the beginning. And I think there is some reuse of animation where in the beginning Jiminy's going through like a potted plant and it's like the forest.
Oh yeah, he's like he's like rowing his little leaf like he's going through a forest, and then he hops out and it's a potted plant on a dresser or something on a bookshelf. The first of the 2 segments is called Bongo. It's about a little bear who is a circus performer, and he's not treated very well at the circus, so then he longs for the out of doors and the wilderness.
Yep.
And between this segment and Dumbo, I wonder why we ever liked the circus.
Bongo was originally conceived as a kind of prequel to Dumbo, sort of, but they dropped all that altogether. Sinclair Lewis wrote the short story, and Disney liked it so much he said, let's animate it. He rides a unicycle, he can juggle, and he dives onto a sponge. So I remember seeing the character before, maybe on a poster somewhere at Disneyland. Maybe I might have seen it as a kid on the Disney Channel, but I didn't remember this one at all.
I remembered more than Jarrett did. I remembered once there's a point where Bongo meets a lady bear out in the wilderness. And after the little love song sequence, I started to remember, oh wait, there's another big burly bear that tries to fight for her affections or something.
It's a typical Disney type of style where the main character and the love interest are very similar and very cute in their animation, and then the bad guy is big, and he's got a big jaw, and he's got a big deep voice, and he's like the big mean bear.
He's scary.
And he's scary, so it's like you have your obvious good guys and your obvious bad guy, and things ensue, and then he ends up using his circus performiness to win the day. It has a very weird story song thing.
Yeah, the song is weird.
But how bears show how much they love each other by slapping each other in the face. So the girl bear slaps him, and he gets sad because he doesn't know that he's supposed to just slap her right back for love.
And I tried to look it up to see if there's any, scientific merit behind this idea, and I couldn't really find anything.
My favorite part, probably, they have the circus train pulling up, and it just, vomit out the circus and then sucks it back in.
Circus.
Circus? Yeah, that's good. It's fun.
It's funny. But the rest of the story was a little odd. Cute, but I'm good with not having to watch Bongo again.
It pulls back out, and Jiminy has been telling this story to a baby doll and a bear doll, and then they're in love or something after he tells the story. So he decides that it's time for him to mosey on, and he finds an invitation for a birthday party or something.
That's being held at the house across the way.
House across the way.
So then Jiminy hops on over to the house across the way, and he hops on in, and it's Edgar Bergen, who I guess was a comedian in the 40s whose specialty was ventriloquism.
Yeah, he was a vaudeville ventriloquist through the 20s and 30s, and was very popular on the radio, and then started performing in movies and shorts. He would have been real famous in the day, and kids would have recognized him. But from our modern perspective, it's just kind of weird that there's a little girl...
There's a little girl whose birthday it is.
...having a party with a grown adult man.
And several puppets.
And some puppets. it was probably like very like came across as fun and normal when they shot it.
Just like, where are your parents, little girl?
Yeah.
Why are you in this house with this strange man and his puppets?
Yeah.
It's entertaining. It's just weird.
Yeah, it doesn't quite hold up.
Especially intercut with animated Jiminy Cricket and running around.
And then Edgar Bergen tells the story of Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Well, what we know as Mickey and the Beanstalk, originally it's titled The Legend of Happy Valley.
Right. So it's set in Happy Valley, and things go downhill.
Magic singing harp gets stolen, and a big famine drought spread across the land, and there's no food. And
so you have the Disney Holy Trinity, Mickey, Goofy, and Donald. It's the story we've all seen.
Of Jack and the Beanstalk.
Jack and the Beanstalk with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy.
Right.
And you've probably seen this one?
Definitely, because it was on Disney Channel all the time in the 90s.
But there's some variations when they release it at different times. Mm-hmm. The version that I know really well is narrated by Sterling Holloway. So very famous Disney voice. We know him as Piglet. So this one felt weird. I had a strange kind of separation where visually I knew it, but it didn't feel quite right. And when I learned that it had been re-put out with Sterling Holloway, then I was like, that's the one. That's the one that I remember. So it's a strange feeling of like nostalgia and rewatching when there's some variations. Mm-hmm. It's kind of interesting to experience that.
In its original form in Fun and Fancy Free, it cuts from the cartoon back to the scene with Mr. Bergen and the little girl and the puppets, and it's really strange.
Yeah, they kind of interrupt the story, and then it goes back into it, and yeah, I'd rather just have the whole cartoon just all together, which later releases do.
There is a deleted scene that I don't know if it ever got past like pre-production stages. The part where Mickey goes to sell the cow to get the beans. The original scene was to show Mickey going to the market and he would buy the magic beans from Honest John and Gideon, who we know from Pinocchio.
Which is really cool.
It is cool. I don't know why exactly that sequence got scrapped, but in the one we know, it's just Mickey goes to sell the cow and then he comes home with beans!
He's super excited about it.
And it has one of my favorite songs in all like Disney shorts, which is pancakes piled up till they reach the sky. I'm gonna eat until I die.
It's really fun and very silly.
Songs.
Willie the Giant, we see him again in Mickey's Christmas Carol, and it's fully lifted animation from this because he lifts up the building and looks inside. We see his eye and Mickey in his hands, so they just put Scrooge in there. So that was absolutely just reused animation. His voice in this is a lot more like rough because he's like a bad guy
and like doofy.
Yeah,
he's a lot more like no.
Yeah,
burr, burr.
He shows up at the end of the live action segment, opening up the roof and looking in and
very strange.
Edgar passes out and the puppets talk to the cartoon that's lifting up the thing. And then we see Willie the Giant stand up and walk out, and they're in Hollywood.
Which is really fun because you see the hills in the background and the Hollywood sign is all blinking and lit up.
There's the brown derby, which doesn't exist anymore, and Willie picks it up and wears it as a brown derby. So that's very fun. Fun and Fancy Free is kind of fun and kind of weird and
not really fancy.
But you can probably skip Fun and Fancy Free.
Yeah, it's just go watch Mickey and the Beanstalk.
Don't worry about Bongo so much.
They're cute characters, but the story is just sort of like,
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
If you could leave a comment down below and a like and a subscribe, that would be amazing.
Yes.
Next week, we're going to be watching
Melody Time, which is, again, another package film, one we haven't seen, so we don't really know what to expect.
No idea.
And as they say in the Disney parks,
have a magical day.